Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the Getcast podcast with myself, Julianne Restall, owner of Stessie, but I'm also an actress, performer, and like you, interested in all things casting and the industry. And today we have a very special guest in the form of Jake Curran-Pipe, who is an artist and also a casting director in the industry, works for Pint in their casting department. So please give a very warm welcome to Jake Curran-Pipe. So Jake, obviously I introduced you, but I'd love for you to introduce yourself as like what you consider yourself in the industry, because obviously we're not all fixed to one thing, but obviously people really would know you locally from Play Pint. But all that aside, what is it that you do and what is that you want to do in the industry?
Ooh. I would consider myself casting director, producer of new work.
Lovely.
Because before I worked at Play Pint, I did freelance stuff. We can go into that at another point maybe. And a writer, but not at the minute for plays. I have written and have had short stories published, and I'm writing a novel. I actually did write a novel, and then I've canned that one because it annoyed me.
Okay.
Because so I might go back to that and redraft it in the future.
Lovely.
But it was a bit amateurish. So once
You needed to give it a go.
I need to have another look at it.
A rebirth.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, people always are like, when I tell them I'm a writer, it's like, why do you write a play? You work at Play Pint. I'm like, I don't feel the need to write a play.
I like novels.
I like novels. I feel like if you don't have the desire to write something, why should you force yourself to write for a particular medium?
Of course.
I think.
Money.
Apart from the money, that would be nice. To get a nice licensing
Pretty
fee.
much. So yes, obviously, besides Play Pint, tell us a bit about like how it kind of works for you. Are you a freelancer? Or, do you get hired with agencies and stuff?
Yeah, I've been freelance. So I was freelance producer 2019 to 2023. And I would do the casting for all of that just because it was all, I would get like Arts Council funding for shows for emerging writers and directors in London and put them on there. And then 2023 is when I joined Play Pint. The casting role was within the assistant producer role there, and then kind of changed the way that we did casting at Play Pint over the years, because it used to be quite offer-only heavy,
Gotcha.
I would say.
Something we'll touch
Mostly
upon.
due to, so when I first joined, there was only 4 of us in the office,
Got you.
putting on 32 shows a year. So
Fab.
didn't have that much time to have auditions,
Got you.
and slowly changed the course of that.
And how long has it been at Play Pint? Have you been there?
3 years and 1 month.
Oh, happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Thanks. And then last March, so yeah, a year ago now,
Lovely.
I'm now the casting and creative associate there, which is in charge of all the casting, having assistance with Neve, who is now the associate producer,
Yep.
and also organising artist events. Like I do coffee mornings for playwrights and directors where they can meet us and ask questions about how to get work put on and industry-wide questions and stuff like that.
Fabulous.
And looking to do more things like that. And also now freelance casting, which
Taking work now.
it's very much available. That kind of fluctuates with demand. So my first month, I think I did 1 workshop with an organisation, an initiative in Glasgow.
Lovely.
And then from May, I worked basically 3 days a week from May till the end of summer
Got
on
you.
a BBC and an ITV show and a certain spin-off of a popular Scottish show that's
Certainly.
not really watched by Scots, but by a lot of Americans. Also been doing workshops as well as that. And then later on last year, around November, I was asked to cast a indie film. So, it's all
It's
up and
all
down.
up and down. And
Like
it's
everyone that
different-
freelances, it's,
Absolutely. Different variations, different scales.
Yeah.
And is that something that excites you about the job?
I think so.
Okay.
There are days where, as every freelancer can be like, I'm going to quit right now. I've had enough. And then there are days where it's like, wow,
What day?
what a day. What a privileged day I had working in the field that I'm lucky to still be in. Because now I'm approaching 31, and not to shade everyone else that I was with at uni and stuff, but I feel like I'm one of maybe like 3 that are still in the arts out of a whole group of us that were there. So
it's hard.
on the days where I'm feeling annoyed by work and stuff, I kind of catch myself and be like,
I'm still doing it.
you're still there.
I'm still hot. Amazing. So yeah, tell me a bit about, because obviously we've talked before, like as people, and I know that you've had like quite a life before you fell into casting. But can you tell us about the journey of specifically how you got into your role, and like how you fleshed it out at PPP and how the landscape has kind of changed as you've been in the arts and stuff?
So I used to do Saturday drama classes back in Manchester growing up.
As we all do.
I used to write sketches that were kind of like Victoria Wood rip-offs, basically, because I had a very old sense of humour when I was younger. I used to watch a lot of things on UK Gold, which was kind of like the rerun channel. Have you seen?
Yep.
Keeping Up Appearances, Dinner Ladies, that kind of thing. Ab Fab, Vicar Dibley. I just had a penchant for a middle-aged funny lady in the 80s and 90s. Still do. So I kind of write little sketches and stuff for the drama class, and that was every Saturday from maybe like 2005 to 2007ish. And then I didn't do the drama GCSE, but I just did the normal drama in the first 3 years at high school. And I got cast in a Shakespeare, and it was a non-speaking role.
Are we allowed to know which Shakespeare?
Much Ado About Nothing. So we performed it on the Lowry stage.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
very special.
for 2 nights only.
Ever.
And I had a cough.
And you were non-speaking.
I coughed a lot in the wings. And I was a non-speaking role in a big orange puffer jacket. I was Dogberry's assistant.
Okay.
Who I do think speaks in the actual play, but
they cut it. They cut you.
all my lines. So I became a physical actor. And then didn't do anything from, that must have been about 2007 or 8. Didn't do anything until my 3rd year of uni.
Okay.
Where I'd been living with people that were in the Sicilian Society, which is Glasgow Uni's musical theatre group. That's a very long story of how I actually got involved, but I ended up getting involved in my 3rd year. Was like, I guess, in the chorus, so just a lot of backing dancing and stuff in Bat Boy, which was a really great musical.
Lovely.
Bat Boy is fantastic.
Okay.
Very underrated. And I was the Red Cardinal in the Animal Orgy sequence.
Okay.
Which is the best part of the whole show. And then it was All Shook Up, so I stayed for that. I was in All Shook Up the next year in my 4th year of uni, but I ended up doing 5 because I resat my 2nd year, because I did start uni with archaeology.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is not drama.
Yeah, more layers to me.
Literally archaeology.
So, big fan of Tomb Raider, so I thought I can do some archaeology. Turns out I was learning about the Picts and carbon dating tree trunks. I was not going to Egypt.
Yeah.
So,
very disappointing.
In a huff, I went back to English Lit because I got A stars in all of that for GCSE and A-level. Yep. And then the 3rd year of being in the Sicilians, I was the vice president.
All of a sudden.
All of a sudden. So that's where I got to learn more about producing shows.
Okay.
And that's when I saw that Mount View did a creative producing masters.
Yes.
And it was also the first year that student loan company funded masters.
Oh, wow.
Otherwise I would never have done a masters.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know.
Money.
So I interviewed for that in the February of 2019, and I went to go and see Company. I treated myself because I fancied Jonathan Bailey.
Okay.
So I've actually fancied Jonathan Bailey since 2005. So
and this is your objective opinion.
Everyone else that, you know, came out the woodwork when Bridgerton was on, I've put in a shift. So
Love.
And he's actually replied to a tweet. He has since deleted his Twitter account, so I can't prove
So don't
that.
go and find it.
Got that. Then it was like, you need to pay a £1,000 deposit to secure a place. So I was like, okay. Then I had to do a crowdfunder to get the slot. Ended up getting it. The Masters was great. Got experience at Arcola Theatre where I was helping with the casting for that.
Beautiful.
So that's in Dalston in East London. That was when I first met actual famous actors, and I was a bit starstruck in one of the... I was reading in for the other character with the sides, and then one of the actors that came in was Finn Sharkey in Worsley Road, and I kept missing my cue because I was just staring at him so much.
Sounds like you.
Yeah. So I've got a very chaotic mind, so I really enjoy work that is repetitive. It's like admin work. Mm-hmm. I love just doing admin stuff because it's helps me
do something.
So when I was at Arcola Theatre, I was doing a lot of casting administration for that. Mm-hmm. Got the taste for it, and then COVID happened, blah, blah, blah. We don't need to go on about that.
Yep. No.
Then was freelance, and oh my God, I'm really rambling about my career.
It's a long winded road to come.
Yeah.
To
And
where
then
you're at.
was freelance producing those shows, and me and the directors of the shows that we would do would just do the casting ourselves. And I hadn't learned a single thing. I called the agents all the time, and I would be like, hello, I'm just calling, I'm a producer for a show. I'm wondering if your client's available for these dates, blah, 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 blah. So I'd be like proper like old fashioned.
Yeah.
Calling agents and not even like, didn't really use Spotlight or anything like that. I would go on agencies' websites and look for actors.
Okay.
Because I didn't know anything about casting.
Of
So I
course.
was learning everything myself. Yeah, that was like 3 years of doing that, and then got the job at Pint. And that's where they were like, no, you can send an email for an AV check. And I was like, really? Because I thought like talking to agents was such like a personable thing.
On the phone.
It was like, yeah, everything has to be on the phone, and like, you know, like the stereotypes of like what it's like on set. The producers are like always got the phone in the
Oh, yeah,
and the
yeah.
laptop in the other hand. So I just thought you had to be always on
Do
the phone.
that.
Turns out you can send an email.
Well, and that also brings me to my question about like, is Play Pint the reason you moved up to Glasgow then?
Yes. So I'd been in Glasgow 2013 to 2019. It was the job that brought me back
Brought
to
you
Glasgow.
back. Beautiful.
Ironically, it was also that winter I'd had like one of those freelance, you know, meltdowns of I need to quit.
Yep.
So I interviewed and got a job as like a receptionist at a college in Manchester. So I was going to be back to Manchester.
Okay.
My mum was having a go at me. She was saying it was a silly decision. And I was like, you don't understand. I'm a struggling artist. I can't cope
hate the
anymore.
arts.
And then that job came up maybe like the week I interviewed for the Manchester job.
Okay.
And my mum was like, just apply. And then I got the train up to Glasgow to interview and then went back down straight away. All the HR stuff was going for the Manchester job that I got accepted, and then I got offered Play Pint, and I was like,
Bye.
sometimes you really do have to be at rock bottom before something really good happens, which is annoying. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I came
amazing.
back.
What most do you love about your job?
Sending the offer is always great.
Oh, that must be such a feeling.
It's like, yes.
Yeah.
Especially when it's someone that you've like championed yourself and got into the room because of you.
Okay. Which happens a lot, I assume, now?
Now it does, yeah.
Because you're obviously the casting associate.
Yeah, people trust
Everyone
my
ends
opinion.
up in the room because of you.
Yeah. Still, some directors can be quite hesitant. Not to say that it's a bad thing.
Okay.
People like to work with the people they know they can trust.
Especially for, I mean, for anyone who doesn't know what Play Pint is, the nature of it is fast paced. So like you have a 2-week rehearsal process. You go into tech on the Monday of the 3rd week, and then you open on your first show like an hour later.
Yeah.
So it is a baptism of fire.
Yes.
And obviously the reason that like Play Pint used to operate, as you said, on like a mainly offers only basis is because people who are through the door need to work with people they know can receive notes really quickly and adapt really quickly.
Exactly.
Very
Very well put.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Thanks. It's only because I've been doing it for the last 3 weeks. I'm like, I know exactly
you're
what
like-
this machine is.
Yeah, it's a very specific kind of actor you need to play Pint.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Which is good because I've kind of rallied up a good sense of who is right for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's probably so I'm of the belief that there are many types of actor, but for Play Pint specifically, and the work that I would like to do, you have to just be a vessel for like play and listening and giving
Yep.
a lot.
Yep.
And coming up with offers and having instincts. There are some people who like just want to be choreographed on stage, and that's good for like if you have a 5-week rehearsal process and then you open on the West End, and that's lovely.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the challenge of being playful is not one that everyone can do. And I'll ask you this, but I already know the answers. Outside of work, what are your interests?
Watching telly, writing mostly,
Spice Girls.
Spice Girls, pop music, facts. I can hear any song from 1993 to 2007. I can tell you what position it got in the charts in what week.
I love that.
Yeah, gaming, video games, films, watch, just like engaging with other media. Outside of theatre.
Media?
I don't really see much theatre outside of invites and stuff and my own stuff. I think it's kind of a bit like a busman's holiday now.
Okay.
And now I'm so used to shows that are an hour long. When I get told, like, do you want to go and see a musical that's 2.5 hours with an interval, I'm like,
My attention
what?
span.
And also at Play Pint, I just stand at the back watching all the shows. So I'm used to like being stood like a groundling.
Right.
And
Literally
when I have to,
underground.
like, sit
Yes.
watching a show, I'm like,
Be
I
good.
just want to like walk over there now and see it from that angle.
And
Because that's what I've been
eat my
doing.
pie. Where's my pie?
Where's the pie? I've been rewatching Still Game
Oh,
for
wow.
the first time since
Okay.
working at PPP, and like every episode.
Is that because Maureen Carr was in Ocasia?
But it's just nice to be like, oh, there's Sheila Gray. Oh, there's Gavin John Wright. Oh, there's Brian Ferguson.
And Isa, I mean, right now as we speak, is Miss Lockwood
Yeah,
Isn't
Jane
Well.
McCarry
Yeah.
and Mark
she's-
Cox, yeah.
Exactly. She's in Miss Lockwood Isn't Well, which you
Yeah.
can catch for maybe 3 more days.
Yeah.
When this goes out in the middle
That's
of
true.
April, which will not.
And we're watching Shetland as well. So I just like to been watching them so I can see the actors I know that are on stage. I just want to see what they're like on TV.
And
so
does
I'm
it
doing
count
that a
as research as well for you?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Particularly if I've like only ever seen someone in a comedy role and suddenly they're playing like a murderer.
Yeah.
That's nice to see the range. Because we don't really have many murderer roles in PPP. So
They do happen.
they do happen.
Yeah.
Usually in a more dark comedy sense than
It's
serial
always a
killer.
comic element at
Yeah.
Play Fire. It's always lovely and lighthearted.
What else do I do? Well, let's go on holiday.
Oh, you do like to go on a holiday. When's your next holiday?
I don't know.
Oh.
This is the first time in ages I've not had one booked. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so shall we quick fire then?
Yeah.
And take your mind off things?
Yeah.
Right. Spotlight or no spotlight?
Spotlight.
Agent or no agent? You can
I'm going to
say.
offend many people.
That's fine.
No agent?
Okay. Amazing headshots and no reels, or good headshots and amazing reels on your spotlight?
Good headshots, amazing reels.
Amazing reels. So having reels is really important
Yeah.
then. Okay. Working in film or working in television?
Working in television.
Screen or theatre to watch?
Professionally, theatre. For me as a person, TV.
Screen or theatre to work in?
Well, screen's got a lot more money.
Okay. And favourite project you've ever cast?
The one that springs to mind, because I put a lot of work into doing it with the director and the writer, was Our Brother,
Okay.
which was the second show of autumn 2025. So me, Jack and Andrea, the writer and the director, worked quite hard with that casting role because it had quite specific needs.
Do you want to expand on them?
Yeah. So it was based on a true story about a Scottish scholar that went to Cambodia during the Khmer Rouge
Okay.
and met with Pol Pot. And it's also about the American journalist. I think she might still be alive today.
Life to tell the tale.
The other two are not. Yeah, we just had to find an actor that had the same formidability
Okay.
and charisma as Pol Pot. One of the few times that we did recalls.
Yes, this is something that we would like to get
Yes,
into.
we can get into that. And then really nice for me because I'd seen Bobby Bradley for quite a few shows since I've been here.
Okay.
And I don't think he'll mind me saying this. Didn't end up choosing him for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have someone that I've been auditioning since I started get a role.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice to have David, who played Pol Pot, was from London.
Okay.
And I'd done a lot of West End stuff.
Okay.
So it was nice to have that presence, a bit different because usually we don't get many people that have worked or live in London work with us.
Yeah.
So it was like a different perspective. And then working with Nicole Cooper is always amazing.
Amazing.
Hi, Nicole, if you're watching. And they all just brought so much greatness to the roles. And it was just, I was just very proud of that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Our brother.
Yes.
And so just obviously going over the answers that you have given. So you said Spotlight because essentially that is the main platform that you use when you are looking for people. Is that right?
Yes.
And do you want to like say more about how you do their searches and like, what would you type into Spotlight to find someone at the specific, for example?
Well, if it's for theatre in Glasgow,
Okay.
I'll be looking at Glasgow as as a location.
Of course. To have your location guys on there.
Theatre don't have any money. TV, they don't care where you're based, really, from my experience.
So it's important if you do have a base in Glasgow to list that essentially, so you
Yes.
fall into the pool.
Yes, and also make sure you do have a base because some people say they've got a base and then they don't. Not naming any names.
Probably many. Ethnicity.
I think, ethnicity and accent. Try and be as up to date with all your stage credits as much as possible, even if they might have been fringe or profit share or R&Ds.
But
I'd
it's
be
not
less
something you can
inclined.
search for then.
Just when you have the list of the credits. It's not a definite, but
A determining factor.
yeah, but maybe like at least in the past 5 years you've done
Something.
something on stage.
Okay.
Just for us specifically, it's quite an intense process.
Like, what are the main things day to day that you would search for to like grab a pool of people? You'd say like if you're casting something in Glasgow, you'd type Glasgow and that would come up.
Type Glasgow. If I've read the script and the script is written in Scots or in a specific dialect in Scotland, I'll be looking to see if they're a natural speaker.
Okay.
Accents are a tricky thing for Scottish theatre, I think. Some non-Scottish actors have amazing Scottish accents, but it can be quite tricky, especially if it's like written in a Scottish rhythm.
Of course, especially if there's like, I mean, a plethora of actors who are from Scotland around. It's not something you'd like to call. If you're in London and you have a really good Scottish accent, I'd say it's more possible because, but then like up here, it's a bit like...
Yeah. I always, when people have an accent list, I'm always like, okay, is that for stage or is it for TV? Okay. You can always retake if your Irish accent's a bit dodgy.
Like Shrek,
TV.
yeah.
And then I've had actors be like, oh, I would say probably Irish. It's just because I was casting for Irish roles.
Okay.
Recently, a lot of Scottish people said they could do an Irish accent, so a few of them I would like check in with, be like, can you really do one? Not that I said they probably can do an Irish accent, but if it's film or TV, you've got a lot more prep time. Probably have a vocal coach.
Absolutely. Money.
Yeah. And
at PPP there are no vocal coaches. Just
So I would check in. I wouldn't write someone off. I would usually check in with the actor or the agent, stuff like that as well. What else would I look at? Not often skills come up.
Okay.
There was one last year where it was like Irish dancing, so I had to look for Irish dancers.
Fair enough.
But we never do like sword play or anything like that. So don't have the room.
So it's ethnicity, it's location and accent most of the time.
Yeah.
And or if you're using a specific dialect as well.
Yes.
To Scotland.
Yeah. Height, eye colour doesn't really matter. I've cast family members where the grandma's been blonde, the mum was brunette, and the daughter was ginger. So I've never really considered, unless it's the ethnicity is specifically called for. Yeah. I've never really considered how anyone looks.
Fantastic.
Whereas we can probably get into that with TV. That's a different story.
I would love to get into that with TV, but first I just wanted to expand a bit because you were like, I hope people don't hate me, agent or no agent. Yeah. You said no agent. Can you why would people hate you for that?
I don't want to offend any agents that could be watching. Agents are great. I think the reason why I answered no agent is that to me it doesn't matter if you have an agent or no agent. So my answer for that was no agent because everyone can have no agent. Only a certain amount of people do have an agent.
That makes total sense. I don't think you'd be offending anyone by saying that as well. And so for yourself as a casting director, obviously it will vary like by how busy people are and like how big their casting agency is or whatever the reasons are. But how often do you like receive emails from actors introducing themselves and like how often do you actually get to reply to them? Do you have like a percentage or anything like that?
Let's say like maybe 1 to 2 a day.
Okay.
And maybe around, but then probably no more than 10 a week.
No more than 10 a week.
Which overall doesn't feel that much, but when you like consider the whole year, it's quite a lot.
It's quite a lot.
And
those are introductions solely?
Yeah.
Okay.
When the season gets announced for Play Pint, then there'll be more.
Yes.
And like if other things get announced, then there'll be more. So that depends on what's happening for PPP.
And yourself?
And me.
Yeah.
Even if I can if I post something on my casting Instagram, then some people that didn't know me before might see that and then they'll email me that. So usually if I post something, I might get like 5 emails in a day.
Yeah.
Or like in the afternoon introducing. And then I will put them all into my expressed interest folder.
Okay.
Usually because there's so much admin in the day, I like to try and like put aside. Sometimes you can catch me in the right moment and I'll reply straight away. Yeah. But I'll always put them in like the expressed interest folder and try to reply. Sometimes I don't reply. Sorry if I haven't. I have read the email and I've added you to my list. But sometimes I just don't have like, just like the brain power like just like leaves. I'm like, oh my God. And I'd rather give a personalised reply than a really generic, boring one.
Absolutely.
That feels impersonal.
And that's another question that I have is like, what would make you reply instantly? Like, let's say it's at a right time, right place kind of thing. Because I remember the first time I contacted you, I had been, I can't tell you, let me tell you about this 1 second. I had been contemplating reaching out to Jake for like weeks, months. And I was like building it up in my head. I was like, but what if like it's a silly move or, because I've not done traditional drama school acting training. I've not done I don't think I've actually had a professional credit in the UK technically as well. So I was like, I will be making a shit fool of myself, like just reaching out. And I was like, the season came out for, I think, was it autumn last year?
Yeah.
And I saw that Wallace was being cast by you. And I was like, oh my God, I've been in a historical hip hop musical before. Shall I reach out? I did. And within half an hour, I got a reply from Jake.
But that's one of those intangible, unquantifiable things where I was literally in the middle of the conversations with everyone at Raw Material and Orla
Okay.
whilst your email came through, and we were like organising who to see.
Who to see,
And I was like, okay, I'll just add you to the list because you've just come through right now.
Fair
It
enough.
can be as easy as that. Obviously, because you said hip hop historical, I was like, okay, we definitely know that you've got the experience.
Yeah.
To be seen. So yeah, sometimes it can just be a very well timed email, which is impossible to figure out when that would be.
Yes,
but
yeah.
it can happen. You're living proof that
Thank,
it can
thank
happen.
God. So, for example, if I saw you were casting for something and I know
Yeah.
I have the skill, is that something that would catch your eye?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something you should do,
You should do.
everyone.
You should do. And length of the email, like if it's a really long one, are you less likely to reply instantly?
Definitely less likely to read immediately.
Okay.
If I see I've got to scroll, I'll be like, I'll read that later. But if you can like send the email and on the laptop, you don't have to scroll when you're reading it. I'm more likely to reply quicker because then I know I can just like look at it, read it.
And be like, thanks.
Thanks. What can I reply to that? And then reply. But if I know I've got to like sacrifice 2 to 3 minutes,
Like
Which sounds-
processing. Yeah.
petty or something like. But if I got to like sit and read it and be like, okay, they've done this and there's like paragraphs, I'm like less likely to look at it and it'll go into
The
my
express
folder,
interest, yeah.
express interest, which I'll then get back to. And like, I try and do those in like, if I've got like a spare hour,
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, let's look through those again properly and see what everyone's offering. And then I'll add you to my lists and get back to you.
And
I
how
would
do you
say-
keep your lists then? Like, obviously, I'm sure you have. I'm not sure. Do you have like a list on Spotlight? Like, does that?
So we've got the Play Pint and Pint Spotlight, which I'll add people to if they've emailed specifically Play Pint and Pint. I've got my own Spotlight account that I have my own list for that.
So you can save people on there.
Yeah, so I can save people to lists
Amazing.
that can be like Gaelic speakers or gingers or fiddlers. You
Yeah.
know, I can make whatever list I want and add people to it. Those lists are usually just like a visual things like remind myself.
But that's really good for us to know.
Yeah. And then I'll have my own like spreadsheets where I might, so it'll be like name, spotlight link, location, natural accent, gender, ethnicity, location, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And keep people in lists like that. So if someone's like, I need a ginger tap dancer, I can then find someone easily, hopefully.
Yes.
So that's the way I kind of do it. I don't know what other casting directors do, but I like to make lists. So
That's good.
I'll make lists some spare time. I was like, oh, let's see if I can list all the countries in the world, and I'll just do that.
Do you do those? You do the quizzes online?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. You must meet my best friend, Emma. Emma, if you're watching, love you. Jake also does this fucking quiz that you do. She does it all the time with the states of America.
Yeah, I can do the state capitals. I'm trying to do the national flower of each country.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know Maltese one? The Malta one? It looks exactly like a thistle, funnily enough.
Really? Is it like a prickly pear cactus?
No, but that would be apt because obviously prickly pear is
That's
like really rife there. But it's like a thistle, but it's like one that grows by the sea,
Ooh,
called the ear of the sea.
ear of the sea.
I don't know what the name is in English. It's probably like Latin
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Anywho, yes. So now I'm going to ask you cheeky questions.
Okay.
This section is called Oh Me Oh My, Casting Perception and First Impressions. So basically I'm doing this section so people can see that different casting directors and agents will have different perceptions of my casting and how those will change and shift throughout the episodes. Will be like, oh, I can basically market myself how I like because everyone has different perception of me. So basically the question I'll ask at the top of the episode is based purely on the first impressions of me at the start of the episode. What kind of casting would you place me in for a show you were directing or casting that you didn't think?
I have like 3 separate things that come to mind when I first look at you. They're all kind of based off stereotypes and stuff. But
Obviously.
the glasses and the hair.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the accent does play into it, but you kind of remind me of like maybe someone in like the scholar role in like an action adventure film, like
Scholar role in the action.
like Rachel Weisz in The Mummy, that kind of.
I was like Hermione Granger.
A bit more exciting than that, you know.
Okay,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
action adventure character that's like, no, we shouldn't go to that temple because there's a trap, you know.
Yeah.
And you've
yeah.
got books and you're all,
Bit Velma.
yeah, bit Velma.
Yeah.
So you give that. You also give like coming of age, dramatic, younger role,
Okay.
maybe like late teens, early 20s, that kind of like buildings Roman.
I am
the literary
in my
people.
20s.
Oh yeah, you were born in 2000, weren't you?
I am.
So that kind of like, I could just see you in a play that comes to mind. Was it called She-Wolves? It was on at the Fringe maybe like 3 years ago.
Okay.
2022 it was on. And it was set in like the Midlands and two best friends go running off
Mm-hmm.
and like camp in the wilderness. I could just see you in a role like that.
Oh.
Kind of like a fun, like coming of age thing.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Because of Your Eyes Are So Striking. And I think eyes are quite important for like darker characters.
Okay.
So maybe it's a tortured soul or a villain.
Okay. I will. I'm going to expand on that. The
Okay.
last film thing I did was I don't know if you watched Kristen Stewart's directorial debut.
No.
Do you like Twilight?
No.
That's fine. I don't either. And this is the problem I had was like everyone was like, "Oh my god, you met her? She was there. How was she?" I was like, "I've never watched Twilight, so I have no idea." And I was like, "It's all right." And she cast me as a junkie woman, so I was like
Wow.
a junkie.
Okay.
So tortured soul,
Yeah.
which is something I would never put myself up
No.
for.
But you've got a good face for that because you've got like quite an emotive
Thank you.
thing about you. I don't know. I'm really bad at like verbalizing what I mean, but I can always like attach it to
A character.
a character.
Yeah.
So I don't really know like the specific like acting terminology for stuff, but
I don't think that's important.
I can always like, this is the mood, this is
The
the
vibe.
kind of person.
Yes.
or, you know.
I'm really interested to know like the casting process from your guys' end because obviously as actors we just see the email chain that comes our way.
Yeah, that's true.
So it'd be really interesting to unpick like what actually goes on behind the scenes so that people also have some empathy for the reason why it's taking so long or whatever.
Yeah.
So how much initial vetting is done by assistants in casting houses before like any profiles actually reach the casting director themselves?
From my experience of working in TV, the whole casting department sorts out the long list.
Okay.
And if we're taping, then we'll get tapes from everyone. So it could be like 80 people for someone who's in one episode.
Yep.
And then we'll watch all of those. And then the shortlist gets sent to the producers and the directors and the execs and all those people.
Okay.
Powers that be. Then the discussions will happen from that. Just from my experience working with Anna Dawson and Simone Pereira-Hind is that everyone is
Part of the long
part
listing.
of the long listing and everyone will watch a tape or sort things out.
Fab.
Yeah, people probably do it differently around the country.
I'm just
but
interested to know
Yeah.
like everyone's process because obviously like we don't know if we even like get seen by the casting agent half the time, whether it's like a self-tape or obviously in the room you can see them, but like yeah, it's just interesting to know who would be in the room when the long list is being created.
Yeah, definitely collaborative from my experience anyway. And then play Pint wise, everything gets seen. 'Cause it's-
We see it all.
yeah, we see it all. Whoever's in the office that can overhear it.
Probably, yeah. It's a very close proximity office, to be fair. Yeah, so that's my follow-up question would have been, so do you see everyone who submits or is it just a selected group, essentially? So if you ask people to tape, you see everyone generally. Fantastic. And this is really something I'm really interested to know because especially when singing is a part of the taping process, how does the team present candidates like to directors and the creative team?
Yes.
Like, is it, if for self-tape specifically, is it on a big TV or is everyone just like sent out their own thing and they have to like be left to their own devices and see it on a laptop screen through headphones? Like, what's your kind of setup?
If all the roles are getting tapes, I'll just send it off to everyone and they can
Do it in
view
their
it
own
how
time.
they want to do
Okay.
it. If it's a mix of people that are taping that couldn't make it, but we've got a day of auditions, I'll set aside time in the auditions where we can all gather around my laptop and watch.
So it is through a laptop screen usually?
Yeah, laptop screen, no headphones, only headphones if
On a
if
train.
the office was really busy or if I was on a train, or something like that. Usually it's through the speakers, which can change. Like my work laptop is quite clunky, so sometimes things can sound a bit tinny. Whereas my personal one is a Mac, which I had to get because at Mount View, calling them out, the Wi-Fi there was Wi-Fi in Mount View, but obviously most of the students there didn't need it because they were in acting stuff all day.
Okay.
But the producing cohort needed the Wi-Fi because
Yes.
we were doing things, and
The
the Wi-Fi would only connect to MacBooks. And I had a little Lenovo laptop that just wouldn't work because it was 5G, and I don't think Microsoft laptops at that time could connect to 5G Wi-Fi. I don't really know what's going on
How
there.
interesting.
But it only works with anyone
I've
that had a
never
MacBook.
heard of that before.
And I was like, what the hell?
What the hell?
And then I got one for Christmas, and then 2 months later there was lockdown. So I was like, okay.
I'm out. But that's really interesting that you say as well that because of your laptop setup is like tinny. How much does that factor in? Like, how much leeway do you give the person when it's like a singing thing?
Yeah, I know the limitations of my own technology, so I just kind of like I know that you've hit the note in the room.
So now we're doing a wee segment where we'll have Jake's reaction to my spotlight, which he's going to tell me what's wrong with it. It's not a test. It's just gathering data for all of us to see different casting agents' opinions. And then I've got 2 people who have very willingly submitted theirs to also be rated by Jake. We don't need to get into specifics, but basically we have Alan Mackenzie and Kira Jane Dempster. Kira has come into the studio before with Stacey, so shout out to her. Jake's going to have a look just now.
Okay.
I'm wearing the same jumper. In
You are. Well, I like that you got more than one headshot.
Likes to have more than
But I need to say things I don't like, don't I?
Yeah, if you want to say things you like as well, I'm happy
I'll
to...
just go through it and then you can edit.
Sure.
So Instagram link is good. And I also want to say if any actors have Instagram and don't have the spotlight in
Their bio. Get on it.
Do that, please. Because, you know, someone I know could post something. They're in a show with this person at some fringe thing. And then
Yeah, and Jake wants to stalk
the
you.
actor gets tagged. And then I don't know who the actor is because they've not been tagged. Or they have been tagged, or their profile picture is like a load of emojis.
Yeah, or
whatever.
Yeah.
And the name's not there. And I don't know. And then the spotlight's not there.
So put your spotlight. And also from Stacey's point of view, from my business's point of view, it's really helpful for me to actually go through your spotlight before you come in the studio. So
Yes. Somewhere, just anywhere for the spotlight to be on.
Way more important to do that as well than have your Instagram connected to Spotlight, which is a hoo-ha in of itself.
I don't think I've seen that before.
I know, it's new.
Yeah. Okay.
It took freaking ages to get. But
just have the spot. If you have the spotlight, just have it anywhere. Obviously on Mandy, I can just like, if you have a Mandy, it'll come up.
Yeah.
But Spotlight is, behind closed doors. Okay, we've got audio clips.
Putting myself out. I am in the process of getting my Spotlight overhauled, which is why I want to know what's wrong with it now.
I don't really look at audio clips because I think that's more commercial based for me. I'm not really. But then that rap thing is a good example. I would say if you can rap and you don't want to put a video of yourself rapping, that's good. Videos. Yeah, I like that it's all separate.
Okay.
I keep saying things I like, sorry.
That's good.
Like acting, and then there's one for singing, and then there's one for movement.
So separation is good for you?
Yes.
Okay. I've heard different things from different people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like the separation. And I like, even if it was like a comedy versus a drama. Monologue.
Okay. So as much separation as possible, essentially.
Yes. Or if it was one video, but it like clearly said what I was going to be looking at.
Yeah. Timestamps.
Yes.
And then I also hear a lot of difference in the stage credits, whether they want it in tabs or not, like in date order or not in date order or whatever.
I would like date order. Mm-hmm. Okay, accents and dialect.
Yes,
okay.
this is another controversial thing.
You need to change this.
Yeah, yeah.
So you've put down as native, and then there's quite a lot of things there.
Yeah.
Which I think would be high standard.
Yes.
So the native would be Maltese.
Yes.
And then high standard, you could put
the rest.
Sometimes it'll just say high standard, and I can't see what the native one is.
Okay.
If you've not clearly stated what your natural accent is, some people have two.
Yeah.
Like for code switching reasons or...
Yeah, different parents.
Yeah. So that's good as well. But please have a native accent on there so I know what
you sound like.
you sound like. From what I'm looking at, everything else seems fairly in order.
Fairly in order.
The accent thing, I think particularly working in Scotland where so much of the plays are written so specifically. And I'd like to try and cast as many non-Scots as possible. Yeah. They'll tend to be more like in roles where their Scottishness doesn't matter. Yeah. Is when that will happen. versus if the writer's written it standard English, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
Native accent, make sure it is your real native accent and not a list of things that you can do really well.
Yeah.
Because that then goes to high standard. Research and development is a good thing to have.
Okay.
I feel like not enough actors
Value
that it is, but it's good for us because we work with new plays. It's good to know that an actor has a dramaturgical brain.
Good.
Or has worked in that sense, because usually when we're working with new writers, the first 2 days we'll be working on the script and cutting and changing a few things and just making sure it works.
It's a live
properly
document
after the read through and stuff like that.
I actually in my bio, my main thing that I do is research and development. Like that's what I love to do. But again, people might not do that at all, so that's totally fine.
So I'd say that's good.
Is the bio too long? Is the bio too short? Does the bio not matter? This is really good information.
Sometimes people will be like, I'm currently starring in this. But then on your credits, it will say that you're currently in it. And I was like, well, you've just said it twice now.
Yeah.
It doesn't really affect anything.
Yeah.
But
a lot of people, like someone I recently did a workshop with was like, do not say you are a Manchester-based actor in your bio because it states it in your in the first under your headshot, unless it's like really important to you. Like I'm a working class-based actor but like if you're, just a Manchester-based actor, we know.
I think if you're comfortable sharing, because Spotlight you can filter through ethnicity, accent, location, gender, but you can't filter yet through sexuality.
Right.
And I think if you're comfortable stating if you are queer or not, because I like to cast as authentically as possible.
Of course.
And most people do. I think it's good.
I think you can also, am I right in saying you can also, you can also filter by ability. So if anyone's like neurodivergent or, You
can do that as well.
Cool.
Maybe state that. I think I would look out for the things what you could bring as a lived experience to the role.
As a lived experience to the role. So in the bio, it's important to have.
So if you're a working class, neurodivergent, queer actor, that's good for me to know if I'm casting for a role that is like that.
Yeah.
Things that can't really be quantified in like breakdowns.
Yeah.
Is what I think I would use that bio for. Sometimes a bit of mystery is like, I've just been casting an undisclosed role in an undisclosed big picture. So it's like, oh God, what's that all about?
Yeah.
But I would say things that can't be like searched for, add in there.
Okay.
Just to have a better idea of you as a actor and what you can bring to a role.
Absolutely. And I think whenever I'm instructing actors, I always tell them a line about you and who you are and a line about the work you like to make.
Yeah.
Or be in if you don't make work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing to say as well. Because some people don't just want to be in really serious dramas.
Yeah.
That's what they're good at.
That's totally chill.
People don't want to be AV checked for a comedy.
Yeah. Do not AV check for a comedy.
Do not AV check me for comedy.
Amazing. Okay, this is like, I just want to know from your perspective what I know the worst part of the job is obviously sending the unfortunately email. Are you okay to talk a little bit about that and obviously the people that you bring in, I'm sure are only brought in because they are worth something and are actually right probably for some job, but not that one. So what is that like?
I think it's really rare to see someone. I can't even remember the last time I saw someone and I thought,
what was that?
It is most of the time just really difficult.
Yeah.
Because everyone has something that they could bring.
Of course.
And I always say there's always 8 versions of a play that could have happened. But this is the version we went with. And I've seen a lot of people for roles. Mm-hmm. Eventually they've been cast, like Bobby Bradley.
Yeah.
There are still some people that I see frequently that still haven't been cast.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're not taking it in that way, because getting them in the room to me is equally as important as getting the job.
I mean, if you're getting in the room repeatedly, I think it's a good sign as well.
Yeah. And I think just like meeting the writers and directors, because then a director could be working on something in 6 months.
Yeah.
And they'll have seen you in the room and you might be on their radar from that. I think obviously people want to get the job, but I think because we do as many in person, we'll only tape if someone physically can't make it.
Yeah.
Or if the director's availability doesn't really align
Yeah.
with anyone else's.
Yeah.
That's when we'll tape, because I don't want people coming up from London to audition and then going back down and spending hundreds of pounds to be seen.
Yeah.
So I'd rather, for example, when I was casting the Irish role, there was a lot of London-based Irish actors I saw. So they were all taped.
And actually, that's something I'd like to ask about. Is we were talking to lovely Maureen Carr, who's casting for her PPP show that she's directing.
Members only. Come and watch it.
Members only. I asked her directly, like, okay, if someone is in the room for the same role that someone is taping for, someone else is taping for, does it really make a difference? She's like, yes. Like, being in the room is so much better than self-taping.
Yes.
Is that your opinion?
Most of the time,
Yep.
things do change. So there was an actor this season who was the only one. Well, this was a Zoom, so a little bit less impersonal than a tape.
Okay.
We saw loads of people in the room all day for a role. He was maybe like the second to last person that we saw, and he was the one that we chose.
So there you go.
Sometimes it does happen. There will always be a bias, and even if it's an unconscious bias of seeing people in the room versus who tapes. That's why I try and get as few tapes as possible if they were also in person.
Okay.
I'd rather it was all tapes
Or all.
or all in person. But
person.
sometimes people just, if they've had like a family emergency and they need to tape for the next week, and like things like that happen. Most of the time, I would say, in the room is the best way to do it. Flukes can happen.
Yeah.
Another one, another role was from a tape, and we did see people in the room. But
Amazing.
sometimes that tape is just amazing.
Amazing.
So,
I mean, my audition for Wallace was on Zoom, and I thought it was an interesting one because obviously when it's a musical,
I was worried how like timings with music and stuff when it's all like on a Zoom and stuff like that. But,
exactly. And
so all of those were on Zoom.
All of those were on Zoom, and the tricky part about that is because we had to audition with like a backing track doing a rap, and obviously I wasn't sure whether you would be playing the backing track or if I'm going to be playing it, and then it's like all out of sync or so it was an interesting learning curve. But so do you personally have a preference for auditioning in the room as well then?
For theatre,
For
I think
theatre,
theatre needs to be in the room.
Okay.
TV, you're going to be on screen in the final product. So I don't think taping is just part of the TV casting culture now anyway. So.
Of course.
Because then you can see in the audition is also a little bit of an analysis of how someone works in the room as well.
Yeah.
And if they are maybe some tips or like things that might put somebody off an actor outside of their acting is things can be like, look, that's another thing that's good in person where you can kind of like suss each other out.
Yeah, it's a gelling.
Because the actor might come to think and they're like, well, that director was really weird. I don't want to work with them.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
that's fine, and that's fair enough.
Or the director might think, well, they spoke 15 minutes non-stop when they first came in, and now we've got 3 minutes left to see them actually act.
Yeah.
So I can't trust them in the rehearsal process, in an intense rehearsal process. For Play Pint, when we say 2 weeks, it's 10 and a half days. So really, we need to know that you're not going to just sit there and tell stories. So that's something that we kind of look out for those little things as well.
Yeah.
They won't be like the thing that dictates the decision.
Yeah.
But it's like little things that we notice.
And how, especially from self-tapes, I'm going to say, but how quickly do you understand the vibe of the person and know that they're right for the role?
It varies to the actor because sometimes some actors I've seen and I know really flourish in a redirect.
Okay.
And they just need that little note from a director and then they'll understand everything a lot more clearer. Some actors can come in and they've got it. I don't have a preference for either actor because obviously you're going to be working with a director.
Yeah.
You've proved in that instance that you can work with a director if you needed that redirect to actually shine.
Yeah. And even if someone is good, sometimes they don't fit in the puzzle piece of the wider thing.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that happens quite a lot. People will be amazing, but they might not have the same vibe as another actor. And maybe if they're playing a couple or they might not fit in the world that the other two actors might fit in better with, kind of stuff like that. It's kind of like hard to put words to. Yeah. It's just feeling based usually. Yeah, sometimes, we'll discuss the script sometimes and sometimes the actor might not have really understood what they've read.
Okay.
But then that's the director's job to kind of like
make them understand
and get them out of it. We auditioned someone for something once and they didn't, it was like a thriller and they didn't
get the memo
read it as a thriller, which is really weird because it was like full of thriller stereo like tropes.
Okay.
Sometimes actors just don't get that.
Yeah.
And then the director. And then if they can then like rework everything with the director, and give something else, that's good as well.
That's really good. That's really good. And obviously, again, for different projects in TV and film, musicals, I'm sure it just varies a lot. But what is usually happening behind the scenes before an actor hears back?
Ooh.
So like things like rewrites or licensing or things that we just wouldn't know. I'm sure also like maybe are giving an offer to one actor and then they decline and then you're giving what's happening behind the scenes before an actor hears back?
Like you said, there can be offers, people decline because then they might be in the mix with a TV thing that their agent might not have declared at point of AV checking. But I never begrudge an actor for taking TV role over a theatre role because usually the money's a lot better.
Fine.
Budget stuff. So it's like, well, this person is based in Edinburgh, so we'd have to pay travel.
Mm-hmm.
But then I know in 3 shows' time, there's going to be someone where we're going to have to cast someone from not in Scotland because of a really specific character breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
So then you've got to like juggle budget stuff as well.
Okay.
And then it can come to a point where, okay, for this next show, we can't have anyone cast that doesn't live in Glasgow because we can't afford that.
So those factors.
So those factors as well.
And those are not in the actor's hands, obviously.
No. So it can just be down. Sometimes it's been down to we couldn't have you because
we couldn't budget you.
We couldn't budget you in. We can't afford you, but we'll see you next time.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. So it really can be down to really impersonal things like that. And just like organisational reasons why we can't have someone. Or the discussions that I'm having. And then sometimes, because I'm casting like usually about 4 or 5 shows at once, some directors want actors that I've seen for another role, and then I've got to play those games of being like, okay, we can maybe see this person for this, but then try and gauge from that director if you think that it's possible that they could be cast in that show versus can we kind of see them for something else the way they probably would get that role in the other show?
Yeah.
Is there going to be a fight?
Okay, so there has been moments before in your career where there's been tension between the creative and the casting team then? Like where the casting team is really gunning for one person and the director is like, I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's happened. I think part of what I like about my role is that I'm kind of the advocate for an actor in a different way that an agent is.
Obviously, your agent is your cheerleader.
Yeah.
But you have the vision in mind.
Yes. There are some people that have been like, oh, I'm not too convinced I want to see this person for a role. I was like, no, I've seen them in something else. Or when I read the scripts, I could picture them, and that's when the powers of the casting director to try and... I don't use the word convince, or like, because then it feels like we're going over the directors, because ultimately it is the director's decision.
Of course.
But broadening the minds of the director can help a lot.
Of course.
Especially with seeing new talent.
And on the fact of seeing new talent, I would love to talk a bit about, obviously, your role at Pint, and how things used to be done versus how things are done now, and what you're trying to like inject into the institution that Pint is. And obviously, I've worked with them just recently, and I from my perspective had a great whale of a time being an AD, and thought it was a really tight ship. So wanted to know more about
when I first started, there was four of us in the office, and that was when, so in my first season, spring 2023, there were actors that were in maybe like 2 or 3 shows that season.
Okay.
Half the time, well, actually, I've got the data to back this up. 70% of the roles in spring 2023, and there were about 50 roles, were straight offers.
70% of 2023 season.
Yeah, of spring 2023, which was 50 roles, 70% of those were offers.
Direct offers, which means the director just straight up.
We offer this person. Might be like, it could end up have been like the third person on the list. Or if someone said like, no, they're not free. And they're and I was like new to the role, and
you were just
doing all the assistant producer stuff as well, where you just doing everything. So I didn't really have the time to say no, or the experience of the clout, I guess you could say, to say no. And then over the years, changed that, especially with me going to more events and like
getting yourself out there.
Myself out there, going to workshops, doing mock auditions with students that are doing acting.
RCS or
RCS, NCLAN, Langside College, stuff like that. And then spring 2025, do all of that work and then like building policies and gaining the trust of the directors that come in. And also having a lot more new directors helped.
Yes.
A lot more fresh directors that were doing maybe like the first or second professional show who might not have as many connections with actors as the directors in maybe my first season did. So in spring 2025, 75% of around 50 roles were auditioned.
Okay.
And the rest were either offers or it was a writer.
So you've directly flipped the statistic essentially.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic, obviously.
Which took 2 years to do. So people rightfully call for organisational change, but things take the time to properly change.
And so when you had started, was Play Pint under Jemima still?
Yep. So that was, Jemima started in 2021. I think she started October 2021, maybe. So I think she was in like her 4th season at that point.
Okay.
Around, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so she had been working a lot to change how things were being done. To make it less of a closed shop. Because before that, everyone that was involved, well, not everyone that was involved at Play Pint, but they were more connected to the writers and the directors of a certain generation, I think. A great generation that we value, that kind of...
Still are part of the team.
Still part of the team. Our inspirations to a lot of creatives today. You know, we're involved in a lot of the culture of Scottish TV in the 80s and 90s and the early noughties. Very valuable people. That then paired with kind of Jemima's outside perspective of working with other companies like Stella Quines and Dundee Rep. It was like a nicer combination of things where you respect the people that came before you whilst also having new talent always coming in.
Absolutely. You just started the process of seeing more emerging talent from there. Directors, writers and actors involved.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Not to say it was never
like
diverse in the past.
No.
Because David McLennan and Morag and April did great. There used to be a bit more variety, I think, because it wasn't funded by Creative Scotland, I don't think. It was all based off box office and like commercially stuff. So they could experiment a bit more with the format. There used to be like, there was a cocktails, canapes and something, cocktails, canapes and a cabaret. It was like an evening version at some point in like 2007-ish. There was an Arab season of writing. There was a Latin American season.
Beautiful.
The company's gone through many changes of how the work's programmed. And this is the version that we are now.
And obviously with this new iteration of Play Pint that has been found and the permutations has landed on, we now have the new and really welcomed by the industry Slice of Pie.
Yes.
And Slice of Pie, if I'm not mistaken, is that your initiative that you kind of...
It was like a group effort.
Collaboration.
It was, it was part of the whole, when we got Creative Scotland funding, we only got 60% of that, I believe. So we couldn't deliver on everything that we'd wanted to do. But Scratch Nights was the priority. We're a new work house. And then part of my role as the casting creative associate is to work on the Scratch Nights, and Nay, who's one of the associate producers.
Yes. Lovely name from Framework.
Yes. Leads on. It was Layla, maybe kind of, who's now left, was overseeing it. Nay was doing the admin and getting the scripts sorted out, and I was reading stuff and doing the casting for it. Yeah. Everything's always a group effort kind of at Play Pint.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like a Nay and me and a Brian thing.
And a Brian.
And if anyone else wants to get involved, they can, because you've seen The Office. Yeah. There's nowhere to hide.
Nope.
People can I get involved in the social media copy sometimes. You know?
As you should.
Yeah.
And so tell us a bit more about like how often it happens and what the kind of initiative of it is.
I think we're once a season at the minute, just in terms of budget and capacity. We very luckily had someone who donated money specifically for Scratch Nights. So we've been using that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And obviously it's not going to last forever, but
it'll run out at some point, but then someone else will
initiatives for that. And it's a way to obviously see work from writers that haven't been professionally programmed by us. And it's a good way for a lot of our regulars come and watch it as well, as industry people.
Yes.
So that's nice that they contribute to kind of like the arts engagement side of things as well as just the programming. It's nice that they come and support us for those initiatives. Yeah. The idea is to hopefully, at one point, program something that is in the Scratch Night.
Absolutely.
Once all the development of the scripts are done, and it's a good way for me as in the casting side where I only cast people that have never done Play Pint before in the roles.
Yes.
And it's kind of a good, what's the word?
Platform,
springboard, because from the casting of the 2 we've done so far, I've auditioned quite a few people, and then
for seasons,
based off their performance that maybe a director saw, they were like, oh, I really like this person at the Scratch Night.
Yeah.
An example would be Cindy performed in the last Scratch Night we did.
Yeah.
Cindy Awar, and then now she's going to be in this season.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So it's a nice opportunity for things like that to happen. Hopefully we'll have the time and capacity and the money to do more than 2 a year. It's quite a rare treat to have.
Oh,
only a handful of us do it.
It's also rare for like a working actor to get their hands on something in a development stage, and it almost makes you care a bit more, because obviously the writer is still in a vulnerable position to like share the work. But you will be the first iteration of that character on stage, which is really nice. And it's also especially for anyone who's maybe taken a bit of time off in the in the industry. Jake's burping.
Sorry, I'm burping.
My lady. So anyone who's taken a bit of time off from the industry, or is like just being thrown into the industry after graduating or whatever, it's also that less pressure, because obviously everyone in the audience is aware how little time you've had to prepare.
Yeah. It's in true PPP fashion. It is rehearsed in a day and develops in a day,
and then script in hand.
It's on in that
evening,
script in hand.
So everyone's on your side from the very beginning and rooting for you, and that's always a nice thing as an actor to have that like introduction. And I remember I think the slice of pie I had watched was the one where she's become the president of the universe. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, what was that called?
She was brilliant, and I thought she was fantastic. She was like a social media. I don't know what had happened to her, but she was brilliant, and she was like the Scottish person who had been nominated as the new like leader of the universe.
Was that called Mary? Oh, I can't remember. Sorry. But that was good. Maybe
Proud Mary, something like that. Something like that. And again, really I don't know how she's not ever been, because she seems like a very Play Pint like cast type.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant to see her.
Yeah, she's been on my radar for a bit, because I'd actually seen her at another Scratch Night.
Okay.
Maybe like 2 years ago, and I thought you're a very Play Pint style performer. Kept on my list, and then when that exact kind of like age range and gender came up, I was like, let's do it.
Lovely.
Yeah.
But like, so what is there like just for people watching who want to apply with their own writing, or is there a minimum requirement? Like, have you have to have professional credits before to kind of apply, or?
For the actors, anyone can apply. You can have
anyone can apply.
But it will be prioritising those who've not done specifically Play Pint before. If you've got no professional credits,
that's fine.
Then whatever. There was different approaches in the past 2 ones I've had to cast it. We'll probably experiment again with how to do it. I think last time we did a lottery system where we filtered people initially
by a global majority or anything like that,
and then figured out from there.
Yeah. So, how often, as a casting director, how often do you actually attend shows or like screenings that you've actually cast for?
Well, I attend all the Play Pint shows.
Every single one,
unless I'm
on holiday,
which only happened once last year. But we do record them for our own archives. Okay. So if I've missed it, I'll watch the recording.
Okay.
I just can't think of anything where I've not watched the thing.
Great. So you always do?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And for someone who is, because obviously you mentioned at the very beginning that the volume of emails you get is roughly 10 a week. And that's from actors just introducing themselves. How often do you get people inviting you to stuff? And what's the likelihood of, like, how do you sift through what you will go and watch, what you won't go watch? Is there anything that's totally off the cards, or,
I don't get as many, well, I guess that's kind of because there's so little work, but I don't get as many invites as I would like from an actor, just so I can get the chance to watch you in something. I get invites to, like, it can be a reading or a fringe show or a play that's on for 2 nights, or it could be, a big thing that's touring Scotland. I would like to have more invites, please.
Invite him.
I'll always try and make it. It just depends on scheduling. I'll always prioritise ones where it would be comped because
Of course.
skint freelancer. I'm only part-time at Pint, so understand why certain things can't be comped. So I'll kind of like figure that out myself of like what I can afford
Of course.
to pay for.
And would you go to anything of any scale? So a scratch night or anything like that as well?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
scale doesn't matter. I'll go.
Genre? Any genre you wouldn't see?
Maybe something that's like immersive or movement or something where drama isn't the focus because that's not my realm.
Okay.
So it would be like nice to watch, but I don't know if either of us would get a professional reason out of it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yes. Ever get like any like amateur stuff through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on location as well.
Of
If
course.
I can, like, I'll get invites that might be
Inverness.
Inverness, but even if it's like, it might seem because I don't drive.
Of course.
I'll be commuting, so even stuff that could be in like Biggar or Livingston that might be like a proper like play with an interval. Can I get home? Probably not.
Yes, a bit
Due
of
to
a
the
jaunt,
state of
yeah.
public transport in this country. So I also have to factor in, I'll always prioritise Glasgow and Edinburgh can make happen, but things that are a bit out of the way, it's kind of difficult for me to go to.
Bit difficult.
If it's not like a matinee.
Yeah.
Because then I'll just be stuck in a place I've never been to before.
Fair. And have you seen anything recently that like you thought, wow, that's a good piece of local theatre? Joy by Morna Young.
Yeah, everything that's on at the R&More at 1 p.m. Layla Aichan's one-woman show, Gobstopper, I think it's called, with Skelf Theatre Company. I think that's what they're called. She just kicked to New York recently. I saw that. When did I see that? Was that last summer? 'Cause it was then at the Prague Fringe, and then it was at the... I have a very good memory for names and what everyone's up to, so sometimes I can scare people out. Karen Young, who was in
Oh yes.
Miss Lockwood Isn't Well, I was like, how was your finger? Because last time I saw her about a year and a half ago, she'd broke her finger. And she was like, what? How do you remember that? So I'm always looking.
Always
I'm
observing.
always observing. I know what you're all up to. So.
You watching. I mean,
so that
even
was
there, you were
fun.
like, oh yeah, you were born in 2000. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. One of my party tricks is that people can name a show from any show that's been on since I've worked at Pint, and I can just tell you the cast.
Wow. that you've cast or like any ones before that as well?
Before that, no.
Okay.
Just because I didn't see them.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
I can maybe like I know that Bethany Sennick was in Babs.
Yeah.
I know like stuff that was like maybe just before me.
Yeah.
I kind of know the shows that I've cast from February 2023. I can tell you the cast of any show. That could be a bonus episode.
That could be
If you're naming a random show.
be a whole podcast.
Yeah.
For an actor, how long after an audition are we safe to talk about it if we didn't get it?
Ooh.
So obviously, is it like when the cast is announced or?
I think when it's announced, I think some actors know that they're auditioning for the same role and they can talk about that. I don't know how they find out about it, but I guess there's actor group chats. This is probably good questions for you. I don't know.
Actor group chats.
Actor group chats being like, oh, I've got an audition for PPP, and maybe someone's like, oh, so have I. And maybe it's the same thing. And then
That doesn't happen.
people might know, okay, good. I don't know. I think wait until the cast has been announced because there could be last minute dropouts.
Yeah.
Then you
Need to step in.
might need to step in. And you've already made alternative plans or, told other people that you didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, why are you in the cast now? So I think always wait for the cast to be announced.
And then you can talk about
And then you
it.
can talk about it. And you will always receive a rejection email from me. I don't leave anyone in the lurch.
Or they
So,
do you,
well, to the agent or if it's a self-rep actor. obviously
if
I'll
I were
email
to email you after my rejection and ask for some feedback, would you be open to giving me some?
you. Yeah. I write feedback for everyone. Depending on the agent, if I know them well, I'll integrate a little bit of feedback into the initial rejection. And then they'll pass it on. Some that I don't know as much, I probably wouldn't say that much and then wait for them to ask for the feedback. I also don't know how agents can relay information. Some literally forward on the thread. I don't know if some would filter what I've said and pass it on.
Yeah.
So it can change. Like I know that some actors just get it forward.
Did.
And then some agents rephrase. Not that I say anything mean.
No, I'm sure.
But they know what their actor needs to hear, kind of thing.